Hello Guardians, welcome back. XUR is in Nessus at the Watcher's Grave, so let's jump into it and check out his inventory. Whoa, we got a lot of armor this week. First up, the Two-Tailed Fox. It's a pretty fun rocket launcher. It's got both void and solar damage type, which is kind of cool. Shards of Galanor. Super good with the Blade Barrage ult, so if you don't have one, that's not a bad roll. Up next, the Hollow Fire Heart for the Titan. 65 overall. It's a lot of mobility, but 65 is great. And this is super good for Titans right now, so I would pick this one up. Warlock, Transversive Steps. 59 overall. That recovery spike is awesome. If you don't have it, pick it up, but 59 sucks. All right, let's move on down to the bow. Impulse Amplifier and Swashbuckler. Interesting. It's not a good roll for a bow, but this is a old weapon from a few seasons ago, so if you don't have it, I guess you could pick it up. The Royal Chase Scout Rifle. Again, same thing, not a good roll, but it's an old weapon. Enigma's Draw, Triple Tap Demolitionist, not a great roll. Not a great roll on the Iota Draconis. Ignition Code, it's an interesting roll, but personally, I'm going to skip it. For the Interference, it's okay. Field Prep, Full Court, it could do some damage, but there are definitely better things out there. For the Lonesome, Zen Moment Kill Clip. Lonesome is a solid sidearm, so this is not a bad roll. Alright, before we jump into this mess of armor, I'm going to jump over to Hawkmoon and DMT. Hawkmoon with surplus, skip instantaneously, and moving target's always great. So you could pick up that DMT, but definitely skip that Hawkmoon. Alright, now let's jump into the crazy armor sets. I don't know why we have two this week, but hey, I'll take it. First up, for the Gauntlets on the Hunter, terrible roll. Terrible roll on the chest. Kind of okay roll on the helmet. Not a good roll on the legs. So first set, this red Illicit Invader set, no bueno. But if you don't have it, it's a pretty cool set with like a red snake coming around it. All right, and then another old set. We have the Pathfinder set. It's a pretty cool set. There are some cool things in here, like the legs are pretty good. They're pretty slim. But first of all, the gauntlets are a terrible roll on the chest piece, terrible roll on the helmet. Okay, so there's really no reason to pick up any of the armor for the hunter unless you want some old cosmetics. All right, let's move on to our warlock. Same two sets, cool. Terrible gauntlets. Okay, chest piece. Decent helmet for that high stat roll, but honestly, there's higher stats that you can get from like the seasonal engrams and stuff, so I would skip. That's a huge discipline spike, but 59 overall is just not worth it for me. Skip these gauntlets, skip that, skip. Honestly, they're all terrible. But again, those old two sets are kind of cool. Okay, let's jump on over to our Titan for the last character. Okay, first up on our Titan, 65 overall, which is a great stat roll, but that mobility spike is just tanking this. So really good high stats, but okay spikes for this one, but 61 is just not high enough for my standards. 62 overall. Okay, so this is like the first piece of decent gear that I've seen all day because there's no intellect, which you just don't care about intellect right now. So this is a decent piece of gear and worth picking up if you don't have higher stat gear than this. Leg armor is pretty trash. These gauntlets would be good if it was 65 overall, but again, too low. Way too low. Way too low. And way too low again. Wow. Okay, so this helmet is kind of like the only thing worth picking up for all of the armor sets this week. Well, if you found any of this content entertaining or useful, hit that subscribe button and like down below. Thank you so much for watching, Guardians, and I hope you have a wonderful day.